Well, we are in the kitchen with our good friend Lucy making something. I think this will be perfect for dinner tonight.
Yes.
Easy and yummy, right?
Absolutely. And I'm going to make a chicken and broccoli vermicelli pasta. And I'm making it because today is my dad's birthday.
Happy birthday, Dad!
I know, happy birthday, Dad! And we're all going to their house for supper tonight. And Mom, asked if I wouldn't mind making something, and I said, "Well, what does Dad want?" And he said, "Vermicelli with big chunks of chicken and broccoli." I was like, "Well, that is very specific, but I will take a very specific request over whatever any day."
Exactly. A lot easier, and it can feed a ton of people too, so that's always good news. Something, I've never tried this before, but something that I love about this dish already is that it looks like the chicken will have a kind of a crispy taste since we're pan frying it. Yeah. Also, there's a good way to hide some veggies in it.
Yes, absolutely. So I just have a pound and a half, or up to 2 pounds. I just used boneless, skinless chicken breast and just chopped it up in about 1-inch pieces, but you could use tenders, or you could really take a shortcut and use rotisserie chicken. And then we are going to, after we brown this chicken with just a little bit of salt and pepper, I'm gonna cook down a small onion, and I just kind of rough chop some mushrooms.
Yeah.
And then we're going to cook this just for 30 seconds to take a little bit of that bite off when we cook the pasta. And we're going to make a really quick and easy cheese sauce to put this, finish it off.
This looks absolutely amazing. Now, for folks at home, Wednesdays are big days at Greer's, right?
Yes, I was just looking at our Fresh Picks email. If you don't get our emails every week, you just go to our website and sign up, and you can see what's on special every week, and you can also follow us on Facebook. And Wednesdays, if you want to cook something, of course we have amazing things on sale, but also if you're by a deli, then we have 8-piece fried chicken. Joe was talking about our fried chicken last week. So every Wednesday we have fried chicken on sale. So you can, if you don't want to cook, you can go by a deli and pick up fried chicken, so you don't have to cook.
Oh, so easy, you guys. It really is delicious. Also, I've been to the deli before to get chicken strips.
Yeah.
Also, very, very good.
Yes.
So make sure you do that. We'll have this more of this recipe coming up with Joe and Lucy here in just a bit. Make sure you go ahead and download that Greer's app. Joe?
Smelling good here in the kitchen with Lucy from Greer's Markets. Lucy, great to see you as always.
Thank you. It's always fun to be here on Wednesdays now.
Always gonna smell even better when you add some onions into the mix too.
We are making our chicken and broccoli vermicelli, and we already took 1.5 pounds. I just cubed up some boneless, skinless chicken breast, and I just browned them in some olive oil with a little bit of salt and pepper, and they're not cooked all the way through. I just cooked them for a couple minutes on each side because it's going to finish cooking in the oven.
Sure.
So brought those out, and now I just added a small onion, and I'm going to add in 8 ounces. I just did a rough chop on these mushrooms, and then I'm just going to bring these, soften them up a little bit, and those will be ready to have the chicken added back in.
Let me take this opportunity to also share my happy birthday wishes with your dad.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yes, happy birthday to my dad. He is actually down with my grandmother. She lives on Mobile Bay, and he stays with her every Tuesday night, which is super fun for them.
Yeah.
And so they're watching, they said.
Hey guys,
so,
happy birthday, and happy or hello to Grandma as well.
Yes, my dad's mom, Nene, she, nobody would believe her age, and I will not disclose her age, of course, on television.
Sure.
She was at Mary Barton's first birthday last week, and we got the cutest, I wish I had it to show, we got the cutest picture of her with all the kids, and I put it on Facebook, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, your grandmother looks amazing. So hopefully I got some of those genes, because both of my grandmothers are in their 90s and gorgeous.
That's great stuff.
So I'm going to start on the sauce back here while this cooks down.
Sure.
So I melted 4 tablespoons of butter right here, and I just added 4 tablespoons of flour. So I'm just going to whisk this in and let that cook for a minute to get that raw flour taste out. And I have the pot of water going, but this specific pasta that we're using is so thin, and we absolutely do not want to overcook it. It's only going to cook for, we're going to let it cook for 3 minutes, and then later on we're going to add our broccoli to it and let it cook for just 30 more seconds, and then we're going to pull it, because the last thing we want to do is overcook our pasta.
Yeah, that thin pasta, it goes pretty quickly when you use it, but I love the texture and taste of it. I use it frequently. For example, when I make spaghetti at home, I use vermicelli or like a thin spaghetti or angel hair instead of the thicker spaghetti noodles. It's just my preference.
It is your preference. You know, my preference is a little bit of a thicker pasta, but I will say, when I was making this recipe last night and I was tasting it, I can get down with the thin pasta. So good suggestion, Dad. So now I'm going to let this go a little bit more, and then on the break I'm going to put in 3 3/4 cup of milk, and also I'm going to put in our seasonings for the sauce. I'm going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper and garlic powder, and then I'm using a 1/2 teaspoon of curry powder and some salt. This curry powder reminds me of when I was younger, my mom used to make this chicken and broccoli casserole. So it's super old school, but it's just, when I was cooking it last night, it's just kind of the flavors of my childhood, and we're all getting together tonight, so I thought it'd be fun to add that curry powder in there.
Yeah, and it adds a little extra something to it too. Very cool. All right, so this recipe is looking great. Of course, look for Greer's for all of your grocery needs. You can do it in store, you can do it pickup, you can do it delivery. Lots of options. We'll tell you all about that and finish this dish up when we come back. Chelsea?
We are working in the kitchen this morning. Lucy and I are going ahead and getting everything figured out.
Yes, I'm so sorry. I misjudged our time here, Chelsea.
You know what? But you're a good cook, and sometimes you just get so passionate about the food you're making, and so that is A-okay. So we got some cheese and sauce.
Yes, if you wouldn't mind stirring that for me.
I sure can.
Thank you. And I will grab this stuff. So I'm just going to turn all the heat off on that.
Let's see.
Why is it yelling at us?
And sometimes
you got it?
I think we got it. You know what? Joe is coming to the rescue.
Joe is coming.
Don't blow up the kitchen.
We won't.
We're trying not to here, okay?
So what we are doing right there is just finishing up our sauce.
This smells so good, Lucy.
It is a yummy cheddar sauce with some curry, and we just made that come together really, really quickly with some butter, some flour, and also just added some milk and our seasonings, and then I turned the heat off once it got thick, and you're stirring in the 8 ounces of cheese.
Yeah, so really, really good. And what you are doing over here, you're getting the noodles and broccoli out, right?
Yes, I cooked these vermicelli noodles for just 3 minutes because they're so thin. In the last 30 seconds, I added in 1 head of broccoli because we want it to stay nice and green. And then over there by you, we have our chicken and our onions and our mushrooms that we cooked. So that is ready to go in, and our sauce, and we'll be ready for our baking dish.
Okay, so does this have to, it all bakes together, right?
Yes, so we're just gonna put this in a baking dish and just top it with some cheese and just run it in the oven for about 20 minutes until that cheese melts, and it will be ready for the table.
This looks absolutely amazing. While we're piecing this amazing recipe together, we want to talk about Greer's real quick. You guys are really busy on Wednesdays. You have a lot of new ads coming out, but also for folks at home who have not downloaded your app, they really need to go ahead and do that right now, right?
Yes, we are so thankful to be able to provide not only pickup but delivery options as well during the last year. So it is very simple to make a pickup order, and you just download our app in the App Store. You just type in Greer's, and it's a free app, and it is so user friendly. And we absolutely love doing the shopping for people, and it is just wonderful to see our customer surveys coming in every week with happy people that don't want to have to get out and shop, but they can get everything, in the regular store online.
Sure.
So it's wonderful.
The older I get, the more I value my shopping experience rather than just like running in and out. And Greer's markets everything. You guys are always just a fantastic job from the parking lot to your employees who are incredible. Just being inside, it's always clean and nice. So if you haven't shopped at Greer's, you definitely need to do that today or this week. Now, we have a finished product here, but for folks at home who want to make this tonight, you throw this in a baking dish. About how long do you bake it for?
We're just going to bake it for about 20 minutes. So, you know, a 9x13 baking dish, and we will be ready for the oven.
Oh, this looks absolutely amazing, you guys. It smells so delicious. Of course, we'll have the recipe on fox10tv.com under the Studio 10 tab. Give us about an hour or two and it'll be up. Lucy, we're glad you're back on Wednesdays, and she'll be back with us next Wednesday.
Yep, I'll be making blueberry cobbler.
Oh, what a tease, Joe.